Awesome. Well, welcome back to Overthinking Real Podcast. It's been about 3 years since our last episode. And honestly, I didn't think I'd ever be rebooting this podcast. But a couple weeks ago, I was talking to a good friend of mine, encouraging him to launch a podcast for his new business. And I stumbled upon the analytics for this podcast. And I've got to say, I was really surprised in a good way. If you've listened to any episodes of the Overthinking Real podcast before today, there was only one episode before this one. That's not atypical, I guess. Lots of people launch a podcast and never really take it anywhere. And that was the path I was on with this podcast until I saw those analytics. And I know you're not supposed to care about the numbers, right? And overall, I don't, except that I started Overthinking Real Podcast to help you discover new people and resources that can help you say goodbye to overthinking, master decision-making, and have the business and life you really want. And with that purpose in mind, it'd be a little crazy, maybe even a little narcissistic, to just record a bunch of podcasts and never look at the numbers, as if my ramblings were the only thing that mattered. No, that's not what matters to me. What matters to me is impacting your life and the lives of others like you who struggle with overthinking, who struggle with decision-making and want to overcome those problems so they can live a better life, so you can live a better story. So to that end, I just want to say thank you to all my listeners out there who have downloaded and listened to the one episode I posted 3 years ago. You have inspired me to continue trying to inspire you to live a better story. Because of what I saw in those analytics a couple of weeks ago, what was that over 1,500 people have downloaded that first episode. And I never did a single thing really to promote it or the podcast. And so I'm really excited by that number. And I again, just really want to say thank you to everyone who listened. Somehow what I shared in that episode inspired people. People are looking for it, people want it, and they're consuming it. And that makes me very proud and very excited. So with all that said, I'm back. We're back here at Overthinking Real Podcast. And today I have a very special guest for you. Sal Bitonti is here today from Rocket Fuel Coffee Company. Sal's one of my very best friends. He's a cool guy, handsome as all get out, ladies. And he's got a great story to share with us today. I think you're going to love him, and I think he's going to help you to live a better story. Welcome to Overthinking Real Podcast, Sal Bitonti.
Good morning. Thank you, Corey. Thank you very much for the welcome.
No problem. How you doing today, buddy?
Yeah, so far so good. It's
Awesome.
It's a rainy day here, but we're making the best of it already. And I've had my cup of coffee first thing in the morning, so I'm good to go, man.
Absolutely, I got mine here, infused with grass-fed butter and Brain Octane oil. So I'm ready to go too. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Sal, and what makes you tick, and sort of what are you passionate about in life, and what gets you going?
Well, I'm 41 years old. Actually, 42. Just turned 42.
Holy cow!
Past May, so I've already forgotten my age. But I guess that's what happens when you get older, right? Born and raised Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I'm full-time employed with the government right now, and as you mentioned, I have the side business with the coffee company, Rocket Fuel Coffee Company. So we just launched that in the last couple months, and so far so good.
Cool. So what made you want to launch Rocket Fuel Coffee Company?
Well, I've it took me a while to become like a coffee lover. Like I didn't start drinking coffee till about, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago. It's funny because I was at the chiropractor, and he was the one that got me introduced to drinking coffee. He's like, yeah, like the antioxidants, like the benefits of drinking coffee. You will feel top notch, and like the positives outweigh the negative. And he just said to start drinking coffee. And after I had that discussion, I went home, had a cup of coffee, and started drinking it every day since.
Cool.
And so I just wanted to bring my passion and love of coffee to other people.
Awesome. Awesome. And you mentioned some health benefits there of coffee. I know coffee is known, like with the caffeine, obviously it sort of helps perk you up and that. Um, what other kind of benefits are there from people drinking coffee regularly?
Well, just as you mentioned, it combats fatigue. It makes you more alert. It's scientifically proven to help cure like different diseases, cancers. It kind of stops cancer like in its tracks, and like it just makes you feel better, more energy, more alive, and like the positives outweigh the negative. So
Cool. I remember when I first, when I was a kid and I first was sort of realized or first remember sort of my exposure to coffee. I remember thinking at a certain point in my life, I don't know why all of a sudden, but a certain point in my life, I remember thinking, man, that smells really, really good.
yeah,
And then I went to have a cup of it and I hated the taste of it, but I hear you've got some good reviews on your coffee. I hear that it's really good and it tastes really good as well as smells really good.
yeah.
And I hear you got some positive feedback and maybe some reviews coming out soon. How's that going?
Yeah, like it's been like overwhelmingly positive so far. I think the last we have like over 40 different coffee flavors and
Wow.
products. So we're always adding new flavors for people, and we're always getting that feedback to see what people want and give people what they want.
Cool, cool. So when someone comes to, look, we should just plug your website while we're at it. What's the website people can go to for ordering your coffee?
Yeah, so the website is www.rocketfuelcoffeeco.com.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll put that in the show notes as well. And so when people go there, what like you mentioned, over 40 different flavors or roasts or whatever. Is it all whole bean, or how do people like when people go to order, what kind of options do they have?
Yeah, so there's whole bean if they want, or we'll ground it up for them as well.
Nice, nice. And a lot of people have these machines, these little
Presses and
Keurigs and things like that.
yeah,
You have
Keurigs.
you have stuff for that too?
Yeah, we got K cups as
Nice.
well. So
Sweet.
order your K cups. I believe it's 64 and 32, if I'm not yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. All right. And so that's really exciting, Sal. Obviously, we're good friends, and
Yeah.
I've been talking to you a lot about this process that you've been going through,
Yeah.
and it's really exciting to hear all about it.
Yeah.
What is sort of one of the biggest obstacles you faced in terms of launching this coffee company and get it going and getting it to the level of success that you've had so far with it? What's been sort of holding you back, or kind of challenged you? What's the biggest thing in your
Well,
way
the
there?
biggest challenge is just making like the best coffee, like I give my best like in everything that I do. So I want people to have like the best coffee possible. So obviously, yeah, finding like the right suppliers, the right bean, the right flavors, just
Cool,
everything, right? So
cool.
so we wanted to perfect that and ensure that every order that everybody gets is the best coffee that they're going to get from Rock and
Absolutely.
Fuel Coffee Company.
Absolutely. And so I know that I don't want to steal your thunder, but I know that you can sell this anywhere in the world. Obviously, it's coffee, right?
Yeah,
But I think you primarily focus on the US.
yeah,
And to all American listeners or watchers on my YouTube for Overthinking Real Podcast, you got free shipping
yeah,
across the US, correct? That's even in
absolutely.
Hawaii and Alaska, right? Isn't it?
Hawaii, Alaska, and every other
Everywhere.
state. So it's free shipping.
That's pretty sweet.
And that's like a really really great deal.
Nice.
So when people order, we make it fresh to order within
Wow.
2 days, and it's
Yeah.
shipped immediately.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome. So yeah, so you got the quality roaster, you got the quality beans and
yeah,
quality growers, you got the free shipping, It tastes great. It smells great. You know, and comes in different, like say whole bean and different grinds and things,
Yeah.
K cups. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what, you know, so in sort of facing these challenges that you were looking at when you were wanting to launch this passion of yours,
Yeah.
who sort of guided you, or what sort of influences sort of inspired you to overcome these challenges? How did you face that?
Well, just like every day could be a battle, right? Like we face different obstacles and challenges. I've had like a business mind ever since I was young. So, just getting over the initial fear of starting something and just launching, just saying,
Cool.
hey, I'm gonna do this, and just do it, you
Cool.
know. If you second guess yourself, then you might miss like the opportunity, or you might miss the boat, as they say, right?
For sure.
So, just don't let your fears stand in your way. Just say, hey, I'm gonna do this, and just proceed, and just go
Cool.
for it.
Cool. So was there any one person, or any one sort of you know, major inspiration? Who was it that really inspired you? Was it someone from your youth growing up, or was it someone that you know, who really inspired you, kind of to take an entrepreneurial path in life, and you know, kind of go after your dreams and become someone who lives a fantastic story?
Well, I think it's like mom and dad, both mom and
Hmm.
dad. They wanted the best for me and my brother. And they always said, just follow your dreams, go after what you want, and do it. Just do it. Be
Cool.
successful, be happy, and those are like the main things. And obviously,
Cool.
health. As we get older, is very very important, right?
For sure.
um, because I just wanna be here as long as I can. I want to inspire people for as long as I can.
Cool.
And if people have any questions in regards to business, and I can offer them that guidance, and set them on their path as well that way too, right? Just be
Cool.
like an inspiration.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. That's awesome. um, so yeah. So in terms of, you mentioned your mom and dad. I know your dad is very. You've talked about your dad a lot in terms of sort of the influence he's had over your
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
What sort of, maybe he didn't sort of actively sit you down and say, Sal, here's a plan for being successful in life or
yeah.
whatever, but what have you seen in your dad that, that sort of demonstrated for you that there can be a clear path to you know, achieving your dreams or being successful in the way that you want?
Well, my dad came over from Europe as a 14-year-old. He never got the opportunity to finish high school,
Wow.
and his mom and dad sent him to work right away. So he went out to build like the railways, built like the roads,
Wow.
built fences and walls like around Calgary and area. So like we were just instilled with that hard work, and just working hard, and the rest will take care of itself.
Cool.
And I think
That's
that
awesome.
that just speaks volumes, right? So
That's awesome. Well, you're a first generation Canadian then,
yeah,
and there's a lot of first generation Canadians, Americans, immigrants, you know, however you want to put it,
yeah,
out there watching this right now. And I think that's fantastic. You know what you've shared there, and kudos to your dad for being such a fantastic example, and your
yeah,
mom too for supporting your family and you and your
yeah.
brother. That's really awesome. So what was the, when it comes to pulling the trigger on Rocket Fuel Coffee Company, what was the sort of action point, or what was the stimulus that sort of got you to say, okay, I'm ready. Now is the time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take action. Not looking back, going forward. What happened there?
Yeah, just coming up with the logo, coming up with the name, just getting like that basic stuff in motion,
Yeah.
and then just finding again like the right suppliers, like the right uh, you know um, people with the coffee beans and all that stuff, right? So
Cool. So you've got a really cool logo, and we'll put that, if I can
Yeah,
paste a logo or a image in the show notes somehow, we'll do that too. But
yeah.
people will see it on your website. So can you tell me what was the inspiration behind that logo? I've seen it and it's really cool. I think I really like it. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so like the rockets, taking off from like the, cup of coffee, right? So that's just, like every day we want people to lift off, get up to like the next level and just,
Mm,
just achieve, be successful, be happy and live the life that they want to live. Like
cool,
essentially
cool.
like that's all it
Yeah.
is.
And so obviously your theme of the rocket fuel,
Yeah,
that's the coffee is sort of like the fuel for getting people to the
exactly.
next level in life, right? That's
Exactly.
taking their life, their story to another level, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
And so we've talked a little bit about the health benefits of coffee. We've talked about sort of like say lifting off and taking your life to the next level. Um, you know, what does success really look like for people who are going to drink rocket fuel coffee every day? Whether it's in the morning at work. I think you have some other ideas about, you have a very well-rounded, is what I'm trying to say, message or image of what coffee can do for people. Can you just sort of expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, like again, it's just making the most of the day, just feeling great, being alert, whether you're at work or at home with the family, and just having that prolonged energy to survive like the day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because we all have chaos in our life.
Hmm.
You know, every day we got different things being thrown at us. So it's just a matter of how we overcome, like those obstacles and the
Cool.
chaos, right? So
Right.
it's always about just being above and just like achieving.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Cool. Cool. And so obviously, like, you know, uh, you mentioned chaos. That's something that and a lot of our listeners will be very familiar with,
Yeah,
especially people like myself who have struggled with overthinking. And maybe you don't, or maybe a lot of people don't, but, as someone who's struggled with overthinking, like that word chaos, it really resonates with me.
yeah,
Um, and not that I live there every second of every day and that I don't have a clear thought, but it's just like, yeah, there's chaos. You drive down the street, there's chaos on pick your favorite interstate or highway or whatever.
yeah,
There's chaos at the mall, there's chaos on airplanes, there's chaos, especially coming out of COVID. And I don't want to, whatever, years from now we'll be like, what's COVID again? But
yeah,
coming out of COVID right now, as the world's opening up again, there's people have been shut in and there's a lot of chaos, right?
yeah,
There's chaos like around masks, there's chaos around travel, and
yeah,
everyone's all pent up, and there's a lot of chaos there. So yeah, that resonates with me, and I think it resonates with a lot of people.
yeah.
And so I like the angle you're taking on this, is that rocket fuel coffee helps you rise above that chaos, right? If I'm
Absolutely.
hearing you correctly, and
Yeah,
helps you go to another level where you have some you go beyond that, you go
yeah,
above it,
yeah.
you even have this sense of peace over you. That am I hearing that correctly in what you're saying? Yeah,
Absolutely. And
right.
I think that people, when they drink coffee in the morning or in the afternoon, whatever, it just brings them to another place
Yeah,
outside of like their like reality,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like coffee just brings them to a whole different level. It's, calming, and it gives
yeah.
them that boost, and people just enjoy that time away from, chaos and like in the moment, right?
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people, and especially with COVID, everyone talks about their COVID-19, and I don't want to focus on that too much, but I know it's on people's minds today.
Yeah,
And a lot of people have chosen, we all know it's sort of stereotypical now or cliche now that, yeah, they closed a lot of restaurants, and they closed theaters, and they closed beaches and things. But of course, the liquor stores and the marijuana stores were still open, right?
yeah,
Essential service.
yeah,
So a lot of people had chose to deal with their chaos
yeah,
with marijuana, with alcohol, right? And I know people who I know people who drink a lot of alcohol. I know, you might have, maybe an occasional beer. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you really don't drink alcohol,
No,
right?
I don't. It's very rare now,
Yeah,
Corey, that I touch alcohol,
right.
and I don't do marijuana or any other substances, right? So
Sure. And I just am seeing as we're talking that,
yeah,
coffee with its health benefits and the way that it can help you sort of rise above the
yeah,
chaos, it really is something people should think about drinking instead of alcohol, right?
absolutely.
And if you're worried about the caffeine, well, you've got, I'm sure, a decaf or
We
more
got
than one,
decaf, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So, or half caps or different things, right? So there's ways to manage the caffeine part of it if if you want a good healthy way to deal with the chaos and rise above it, and that's rocket fuel coffee,
Absolutely.
right? And of
Absolutely.
course,
Just like a natural stimulant, just
yeah,
like just good fuel for the body, right?
yeah,
Instead of something that's gonna like alter and be like toxic or whatever
absolutely,
else, right? So
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the negative effects of alcohol are well documented, and so are the positive effects of coffee. And so, cheers to you for starting this awesome venture. Um, and we're not done yet, but I just want to say, thanks for doing that, and thanks for bringing attention to the world about the benefits of coffee and the alternative, some other negative, options out there, right? There's,
absolutely.
there's so many options with coffee. You got over 40 flavors, right? And
Yeah,
K-cups and everything. So there's lots of options out there where you don't have to reach for that beer, reach for that weed, reach for, and I get that people, there's certain medical need for certain people to use marijuana to manage pain and different things. I'm not judging that.
yeah,
My mom, died of cancer a few years ago, and I encouraged her, try it and to manage the pain and the discomfort and whatever. So I'm not judging that, but I'm saying people that rely on that to overcome the chaos when
yeah,
there's healthier options out there. It's just something that for people that are overthinking, uh, you know, um, especially if you manage the caffeine part of coffee for
yeah,
different times a day or whatever. There's no reason why caffeine can be, really unhealthy for you. Um, you know, right? If that's obviously if all you consume is coffee, you don't eat
yeah.
eat or drink anything else. You need
Exactly.
food and water and other things,
Of
obviously,
course.
right? But
Of
in
course.
terms of like something to help you rise above the chaos, find that peace of mind and sort of take a step out of, for a moment, you sit down on the couch or at the breakfast nook or on your deck or wherever,
Yeah.
and just have that cup of coffee and have that moment to yourself, or whether it's in the tub, at the end of the day, or whatever it is that you do to relax, or like you said, get you going and get you energized and get you moving forward. And it's a fantastic, um, not only option out there, it should be a regular part of everyone's life. So
Absolutely.
thanks for bringing attention to that, and thanks for doing that. Now, you know, you mentioned, so we obviously, there's some pre-interview questions that I sent you, and there's some other things that you might want to talk about today while we have you here. And so I just want to get to a couple of those.
Sure.
So because a lot of people, we talked about COVID and travel and everything else, you love to travel. Tell us just just sort of as a side here, where do you like to travel? Where are you looking forward to traveling? Where have you traveled that that people need to travel to? Just sort of tell us about your love of travel a little bit.
Well, I think like my favorite travel destination that I've been to so far is Mexico, Cancun specifically.
Okay.
I'd love to go back there again, like very, very soon. I want to go to Europe. I've never been to like Italy, France,
Mm,
Germany. So I want to go to where my family came and just see
cool.
home, as they say, right? Where
Yeah.
where mom and dad were born and are
Right.
from,
Cool.
and just take in like the culture, from that perspective as well, right?
Cool.
And yeah, Asia, like Australia, like New Zealand, like I definitely want to see like the entire world and just get up and go, right?
Cool.
I've been down to the States, Portland, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I got family down in California. So I've been, on the East Coast and the West Coast of the US.
Cool.
And of course, across Canada and stuff. I've been to Ontario and, BC, places in Alberta, right? So
Cool.
definitely want to expand on that and just get rocket fuel, like
Absolutely.
across, just spread the word, right?
Absolutely.
Just get it out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and on that note, I'm sure we will be successful with this. You've got a great product. You got a great message out there to share. Um, and everyone's anxious to travel now, and there's so many beautiful places to travel, and people need to, of course, pack some rocket fuel coffee in your bag, right? And head out
Absolutely.
there, head out on the road, or
Head
or
out
get
on
on
the
a
road
plane,
or yeah,
get out there
absolutely.
and get somewhere. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
So you also mentioned something, and I would just want to give you a chance to expound on this because I think I know what you mean, but I'm not 100% sure. So I just want to let you mentioned it's important to you, or something you want to talk about was be my own for good. What do you mean by that?
So yeah, just be the best person you can be. Like put your best foot forward in everything you do. Whether it's business, work, just always do your best. Just strive for the best. Uh, always dream. You know, it's never too late in life to be successful, to achieve your dreams and goals.
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, Put stuff down like on a bucket list of stuff you want to do. Just give yourself like a purpose in life and just go for it. Or at the end of the day, just go for it.
Cool.
Don't let others tell you that you can't do it, because you can. You
Right.
have to find it within yourself to say, yes, I'm going to do this, and just go for it. Do it.
Cool. For sure. And as I've been thinking about this for a little while now, this whole idea of overthinking. And I, I'm not saying I speak for all overthinkers, but I know for me, I think I've realized that my overthinking is rooted in anxiety. Right?
Yeah.
You're afraid to make the wrong decision. You're afraid to whatever. You're afraid to not make a decision. It's based in anxiety and fear, right? And that's something that I've been battling my whole life, which I'll get into in another podcast and maybe in a conversation with you at another time on
Sure.
the podcast. But I realized, or at least I believe for myself, it's rooted in anxiety, right? And you could say there's lots of reasons, valid reasons to be anxious, right? There's violence, there's chaos. Again, we talk about chaos, right? There's chaos everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I think, but at the same time too, I think about when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to like to Egypt, for example, and visit the pyramids, right? And so I've been fascinated by that. And I had the privilege of attending an exhibit in Dallas a number of years ago. I think it was 2009, of King Tut's treasures, right?
Yeah.
So I love that sort of thing, and I've recently found that they've discovered new stuff about that.
Yeah.
And having said that, right now with the chaos and the turmoil and the violence going on in the world in places like Egypt, I mean, the thought of traveling there, honestly, it makes me anxious, right?
Yeah.
And so it makes me second guess whether it's safe to go there.
Yeah.
And I felt the same thing a few years ago in 2000, I think it was 2008. When I went to Israel, and I thought, oh geez, um, there's potential for violence if there's anywhere in the world on any given day. It's Israel, right? And again, that's another story I'll maybe talk about in another podcast in depth, but it's a fascinating story. But I was safe the whole time. There was violence that occurred while I was there that I wasn't exposed to directly, like it didn't affect me directly. When I went to Mexico a year and a half ago by myself, I was really anxious about going, right? But I'm so glad that I went. I'm so glad that I overcame that anxiety and that fear. And I had a fantastic time. I met some cool people and had some great adventures there. And so, on that note, we're talking about, just go for it and do it and that kind of thing, right? And you do need to evaluate the potentials for dangers, right? But then mitigate those, take precautions, but then just go and do it, right? Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, be aware of your surroundings in that. Don't be a stupid tourist, right?
Yeah.
But get out there and do it and try it, right?
Absolutely.
Prepare yourself, take some precautions, and then go, right?
Yeah,
don't just sit and perseverate over it forever and never go and always wish you had done it, right? So
exactly.
So fantastic what you're sharing today, Sal. Really appreciate that. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you got some world-changing activities on the Rocket Fuel Coffee front, and I don't want to keep you from those. But before we go, is there anything else you're just motivated to share with our listeners, our viewers today?
Well, I just wanted to thank you for bringing me on your podcast, Corey. I feel honored to be a part of your show. Just like you touched on in the beginning, like I've known you for quite a while now, and I hold you in high regard. So everybody listening, just keep listening to Corey because he knows what he's talking about. He's a really great guy, and he will lead you down like the right path. So just keep in tune, keep listening to this guy, and whenever you ask me to come on, Corey, I'll be more than happy to accept your invitation.
Awesome.
And people just go to rocketfuelcoffeeco.com. Buy your fuel and enjoy the coffee. Spread the word. Tell your family, friends, coworkers, whatever. Just try Rocket Fuel Coffee.
Absolutely. So, and you, speaking of which, thanks again for sharing your website. I was going to do that before we left, but also you're on Instagram, Facebook, right?
Yes.
People can find you there and just look for the logo, the rocket I think you said it was a rocket coming out of a coffee cup.
Out of a coffee cup, yeah.
Yeah, and of course I've seen it, so it's a cool logo. So look for that. Yeah. And yeah, that's fantastic. People need to follow you on Facebook, follow you on Instagram.
Absolutely.
I've seen both of those pages that you got some fantastic stuff there. Yeah. Worth sharing, right? And worth commenting on. Yeah. I truly believe that if people want to take their life to the next level, they want to rise above the chaos and put the chaos behind them and below them and move on to live a better story. Yeah. Coffee is a fantastic way to do that, and you're a fantastic guy. And so I want to encourage people to at least try it, right? At least try it, and if you're not happy with it, I'm sure that you'll make that right. But at least try it, and if you love it, well, then give a positive review to Sal here. Share about it on your socials, and buy some more. Help Sal reach his goal of helping you reach your goal to overcome the chaos in your life and live a better story. So
absolutely
awesome.
And if anybody wants to reach out via email or message, we will get back to you as soon as we can.
Absolutely.
So just reach out anytime, people, and I'll be happy to acknowledge and get back to you.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again for your time today, Sal, and appreciate that. I said I know you're a busy guy and you got lots of success brewing over there at Rocket Fuel Coffee Company. So look forward to having you back on in the future, hearing more about what's going on and how your success is growing and the lives that you're helping to change through Rocket Fuel Coffee Company. So cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, and we'll chat with you soon.
You too, buddy. Take care.
All right.